Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am back with another installment to our junk journals that we are making from a scrapbook paper collection. Now, this scrapbook paper collection is by Simple Stories, and it is called Simple Vintage Garden District. It's absolutely gorgeous. So again, just using that cardstock. Now, you can get the entire collection, so I made sure that I had duplicate of some of the pages because they were just too beautiful to pass up. There's brads in this collection. There are stencils and stamps. There's chipboard pieces that are available to embellish your pieces. There are die cuts, different packs of them. There's a sticker sheet. So many. There's washi tape. There is just so much that is available when it does come to this collection. So again, you don't have to have the entire collection. But there were just, you can pick and choose and build what it is. And you can see that we've actually cut the pages a little bit different, to have the differences in those, to have pieces that are coming off, to create pockets off of these. Just adding some white copy paper, not necessarily having coffee. You don't need to have coffee dyed papers in here. This will be a little tiny pocket, the way that we close that up, and so forth. So we've done our fronts. We've put our strips along the back. Again, here's the front for this one. We're actually going to be creating 2 of these, but you will not see the vintage photo. Here's where we created a pocket there. But you will not see the vintage photo in this coffee dyed. We are just using the papers and white to get through this, and all the stuff that we've created so far is actually sitting in here. We are not even we are going to refrain from sewing on our pieces. I did sew along the covers because that's how I attach when I overlap 2 pieces. All right, so what I'm going to do is there were 2 pieces of paper when I was done cutting, and the way that I cut is I had these 2 sheets. Now this is what they look like on the other side, but you have Today is the Day, and then you have Celebrate Today. So I thought these would be really great to create a flip out, so to speak, on the back cover, because we didn't keep this as a pocket, but to just set these right here. And I'm going to create a hinge so that this will come out, all right, and fold back in. And then when this comes out, there'll be like a pocket sitting in here so that papers can be tucked in, or there'll be a pocket in here, and this will just be like a cover, so to speak. So I'm going to do that for each of them. All right, so what I want, I'm going to take this piece, and I think that's the same height, yes. So I want this piece, definitely. And I'm going to cut it to be 1 inch. Oh, I think I'm going to go to 1 1/4 inches. Yeah. All right, so that's that strip. Now, what does this one look on the other side? Okay, and I think I'm going to do that with this one as well. Again, 1 1/4 inches. All right. So now I'm going to take these 2 strips, and I'm going to come in on each one 1/2 inch from each side, so that I'm going to come in 1/2 inch on this side. I'm going to flip this, and then this time, yeah, I'm going to come in 1/2 inch. And then I'm actually going to score again. So I've got 1/2 inch on each side, and then I scored down the center of each of those 1/2 inches. All right, so 1/2 inch. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to do 1/2 inch again. And then I'm going to go at the 5/8. So now that puts a score line in between. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line this up using my mat. And I'm going to line this up with this, because this is the same height. So I am going to put double-sided adhesive on this. I'm going to use actually my liquid glue. And now I am going to line that up at the 1/2 inch mark. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing, and this one's going to go in here, and I'm going to do the same thing now to this. Now what's cool is this one's already got a pocket. All right. So again, I'm going to put my liquid adhesive down. And now I'm going to find the center of this. Again, using my mat. Oops. Yeah, kind of got carried away on that one, didn't I? It's all right, it'll dry. All right, and we're going to put that in there as well. So now, if I fold it, it's just going to have a bigger fold as I do this. So if I take this down to the center, that's where I want to crease it. Because then that will expand as we put things in here, possibly in here. It will expand because I do have other score marks at the end of these pages. And again, I can just manipulate that with my finger. And now we've got that paper rolling so that when this closes, we have a little bit of a border coming out as well. So that's nice. Now, if you want, you can certainly, you don't have to keep that border going on there, but I do like that. We can also add some washi tape to these sides. I always like to tear off the beginning of it because you just never know. So I'm just going to put little pieces every so often. Just to add some interest. I don't want to cover up that butterfly. And I'm just going to push my bone folder down on top of that. And then when I open this, I can do the same thing, but I can do it the entire length of this piece. Again, just to give it some interest. And again, just run my nail right down next to that washi tape, because I'm actually using the pattern paper as my guide. And we have that one. Again, just using and allowing that paper to do the work for us. And now I'm going to do the same thing with my other page. Now this one I did close, so again, not a problem. And you can, I do want this paper seen, so then the pink will come out on that side. And we can just fold up our papers on our score lines just to make sure that we have them set in place. All right. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up my pattern paper using my grid on my desk or on my table. Again, I'm going to line this up and then use the 1/2 inch mark. I like that little bit there. And here where I'm going to add, just going to add some of the stripe. And same thing. This one I'm just going to place a little differently. And this washi tape is very strong. It's not like where some, it's not as strong. It's definitely low tack. This does have some oomph to it. So again, I'm just going to create a design coming off that. So again, now we've created a flip. Accenting with washi tape is a lot of fun. Just to add some pieces. There we go. All right, so 2 simple flip outs. We can decide if we want to put a pocket in here. Again, just look at your weight though, because you have paper here, but that's why I also I used liquid adhesive and some of the washi. That would help for when documents are going in there. All right, now, what I'm also going to do now is I want to grab some white cardstock. While I've used some of the papers for journal cards and everything else, what I want to do is just take our cardstock, our white cardstock, and cut them down to 4. Okay, so let's just, because this isn't big enough, so that would be, let's take off 1 3/4 and see if we get this. I'm so sorry for shaking that table the way that I just did. Yeah, that was pretty violent there. And I'm going to cut them 6 by 4. So we'll have nice size journaling cards, at least for these two. And that's what we're going to also make today, are just some journaling cards. Let's see if I put that there. Make a mark there. These are 4. What I want to use now are the die cuts and the pattern papers. So instead of using the pattern papers as your base, which you certainly can, we can use some of those die cuts. All right, so these I'm going to make 4. By 3. And I'll use that one as well. And I just need one more piece of white cardstock. All right, so we won't use a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to use a piece of craft. Because we can use whatever color we want. All right, so we have some bases for our journal cards. So now, for those of you, if you have seen my video for the Spellbinders 10 card 1 kit for their monthly subscription kit, you're actually going to see how I pretty much do this. So what I like to do, if I've got die cuts or elements of some sort that I'm looking to collage, because I absolutely love to collage, this is exactly what I do. I take my pieces and I lay them out, my bases. All right. Then I will actually sit here and I will go through each of the elements. So this is a lot of fun. So those are the stickers. These are the die cuts. Now I'm going to put these in a bowl, because if I don't, they're going to go all over the place. So there's one bowl. I get these little bowls at the dollar store, and you get a bunch for like $1. All right. So all right. I've got my brads, if I'm looking for those as well. And then the last thing that I have are the chipboards. So we'll put those in there too. All right. We're going to hold that one out. Okay. So what I do is I just look at these. Now I love to start with my die cuts. So I'm just going to start piling stuff out. Love that. And I just start laying them out onto the pieces. What's gonna look good where? And it's almost like I handle it, you know, like a card. Oh, I'm kind of liking that there. And I just start throwing things down. Not violently, but I just start putting things down onto our pieces and seeing what will stick. But again, to create, like, that's a great backdrop, and that's what we're doing with these. We're creating the backdrops with our pieces. Now these larger pieces, I am going to you know, get those down. I'm gonna hold that one off. I already have that one out. All right, love the bird. Love the bird. I love his look. He's got a great look. And this is all I'm doing. I'm literally just putting down things that are close together, and something as simple as that. I like that one. And again, you'll see it. I just know when I'm looking at it to say, okay, you know what? That one's done. I think that one's done, and I think this one's done. So, and I know I'm off camera on some of these. So that's what these two look like. So we got that one and that one. And again, I'm just putting things down. So we're going to glue those, but I'm just going to push them up so that I don't lose anything. And when I feel that I've gone through these die cuts and I'm not going to get anything more, I stop. I can keep on changing because I still have the stickers to look at. I still have other things to pull out when it comes to all of these choices. Oh, that's a cute little bird. I mean, this bird's cute, but it's kind of big. And I think I've already used this on something. Again, just trying to keep them different. I love the butterflies. Oh, give it up, bee. Give it up, bee. Love the bee. The bee. And just continuing to pull. So once, and then after I start pulling, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done with this. I don't see anything else. Nothing else is really jumping at me. Then I will put this down, and then I'll move into the stickers. And say, okay, so these are tabs. So I'm going to move these cards out of the way real quick. And I think that one's done. So I'm going to keep those that I think are done up there. I'm going to keep these down here. So now you can see. So now I'm just looking at the stickers. I think that would be great, actually, on that. These are a lot of tags in here. Actually, I like that one better. Let's see. And I think I really do like that to actually go off of the bottom. So I'm going to keep that like that for 1 second. And now here are the chipboards. So now again, these are raised. I can put that one on there. Continue to just dig these out. Usually I do use the chipboard pieces for, you know, like your covers or anything like that, just because you can put your dimension on the outside. But that doesn't mean that you can't do that. Oh, okay, I like that. So that's going to go like that. And I think I'm going to make that look like a postage card, actually, with that. All right, and I'm going to put these back in here. All right, so let's work with the ones that we have, and then we'll go back. And that's pretty much what I do. I just literally start throwing things down onto this piece of paper. All right, so I do want that here, and I'm going to put that there. And then this will go like that, I think. All right. So let's just start gluing our pieces down. And I am just going to use my liquid adhesive for this. I am going to have this come off the edge just a little bit. These are sticker chipboard pieces, but I do like to put just a little bit of glue, because again, they're going to be coming off and on your page. And I do want this piece. And we will put that just below. Well, and I am going to have that go through that. I'm going to grab my scissors and I am going to trim. Now I'm just going to trim the leaves. And that's our first card. So again, this is a journal card. Now what we can do, we can turn this into a tag if we want. So if I take this, take that, and if I flip this over to the other side, and cut that out. Now we have a nice tag. So I like to make these card bases and then determine, do I want them to be a tag? Do I want them to be a pocket? Do I want them to be a tuck or a fold over? So I just like to make these and build them up. This one here I think is great. I'm actually going to put that right along the top because that can be the making of the tag. So I'm going to have that come up off of this. And I'm going to peel the backing off. And I'm just going to put glue down the bottom. I know what you're saying. I hear yous. I hear yous. And then I'm going to put that right there. And I am going to bring in my anti-static tool and take away the stick. You never know, I may add that stick back for when I put it in my journal. But I do like the way that's hanging off that. And again, it's a way to pull that out. So we'll set that one there. This one here, we're just going to have fun with the stickers. So the first sticker I'm going to pull off is the frame. Because you know I'm going to put this off center, right? I'm going to do that. Then I want to come in with this. I want that to go there. And I do, hopefully, yes, I will be able to put that there. So we're going to stick that down. And yes, I'm going to trim. Now you don't have to trim these. You know, again, you just need to make sure that we add your powder to these so that they don't stick. If you want them to stick once you get them in your book, I mean, that's fine. But again, I think that one's great too. So again, we're going to make this one look like a postcard. And I think, though, I want to do it this way. Because it will look like, you know, a card, an envelope that we're mailing. And then we're going to glue this one down. See, mine do. Even though I'm using it, it still clogs up. Oh, great. And I threw that down. Okay, there we go. Nice job. Set that down like that. All right. So we have that. And again, we can still add some things because, you know, I have these beautiful brads and so forth where we can add those images, or I can take the stencil. You know, again, these are just the bases that we can create. Now I need, I'm just going to go with this one. Put that there. And you know what? I think I'm going to add that one. I'm going to add that one. I need one more butterfly, but in a different color or a different size. Perfect. Okay, yeah, I was using that as my glow. That's funny. I'm going to put that there. So while I'm not collaging per se, I'm creating a scene. We can say that. All right, because collaging, I would have layers added to these and so forth. Here, I'm kind of just creating, you know, that scene, creating what this is going to look like. And I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm just saying. Going to put my Dream Big down. Gonna put my butterfly here, and I'm going to put my other one under that D. Gotta get those legs under that D. We're gonna go on top of that D. There we go. And I am gonna let all of that hang out. So we have that. I am very much enjoying, I have to admit, I'm going to grab a bigger piece because I'm going to put that wreath right in the center of that. I am very much enjoying the Scrapbook Collection one, and I don't know what this is. Let me be right back so that I can get this unclogged. I don't know what's going on here. Be right back. Okay, now we can get back to what we were doing. Fix this. Every once in a while, we've got to make sure, or I've got to make sure that I clean this. For me, it clogs. Just saying. All right. So now, let's see here. Which way do I want this to go? So I'm going to put that like that. And then I'm going to put this coming off with the heart in the center. And then, well, that would actually look cute. And then we'll take that off. And then we have that one. Okay, so this, in whatever time I had there, so these are the cards that we've made so far. And again, we can still add things to them, whether it's the stencil impression, whether it's more die cuts, you know, whatever that is, you know, we can still create those things. For these here, for the stickers, we can actually put, you know, some of our tabs to come off of this. So we still have a lot more options that we can do. We have this little one, and again, whether we make them journal cards or anything like this one's absolutely, I love this, that it comes off that top like that. And we can even, since I love that so much, I can do the same thing on this one. So let's do that. So you can see as you continue to look at your pieces that they can continue to change. Now this here, I'm going to put that right up off of that. And then do the same thing. Just let the sticker soak up that powder so that it's no longer sticky until I figure out what I'm going to do on the back side. So I really, really love these. So, and again, I have 2 journals that I'm actually putting together because you get so much product when it comes to a scrapbooking collection. Now, this one here, we can create a tassel that'll come off of that. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my hole punch. And we'll punch a hole right in that. Put some of the ring protectors that I have on both sides. And again, I just get, excuse me, just a pack of these. I do like the Avery ones. They're more paper-ish, if that makes sense. And then I just use either my potting soil archival ink or the distress ink, and I just take the whole pad right over it, or I'll take the blending tool to get different looks. But I do look like this because it looks like wood when I just take the pad straight down. And then we can add some plain ivory material. I'm going to add 2 of them, but I want this to be big, so I'm just going to cut into that, rip, and cut into this again, rip. Just like ripping paper, I love ripping material. I'm just saying, I find it enjoyable. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more things to this. I want to add some twine into that. So I'll add 4 layers. And then I'll add some of this. I am just throwing things. My goodness. And then I'll fold this in half. And since I use, my hole punch creates a very large, it's larger than the, what is that, the 3/16 or 3/16 size. So I can really use a lot of threads and ribbons and twines all at once to lock them like this. And you want to be careful because, again, this isn't super thick cardstock. And then you just want to wiggle back and forth and pull each one individually when you have this many, because that will tighten it down. And again, I'm going to pull on each of these loops, and you can just feel it tightening itself onto the cardstock. And again, you want to do this slowly. You don't want to do this quickly because you will, trust me, tear that cardstock. And you just don't want to do that. And the fabric is usually the piece that has the most struggle, because it's actually going to lock in on itself. So now that I've got that, now I can start pulling on my strings. And you want to make sure that you're pulling on all of them. And you can see it just channels itself right down. So just a little patience. Now you have all of these really cool loops and a little bit of fabric in there. And that's not going to go anywhere. Trust me. I'm going to continue to pull on these just to tighten these down, because I see one in the back is not so much. There we go. There. Okay. You can just guide it. So I really, really like that. So great large tag when it comes to that. Okay, so sorry that I had to quick break away because that happened. But you can see how quickly, just by gathering those items and just throwing them down, see what works. Keep, you know, flipping through your pieces that you have, what you like, what you don't like, and so forth. You're going to see what's going to work for you. Now, I still have these cards here that we can definitely use at some point. And I still have all of these wonderful brads. But these would be great, especially this one, to create tucks on our pages. And I think that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do with those. This stencil, I think, you know, I'm just looking at this stencil. And I'm really, I really want that to just go right up through there. Yeah, okay, so I need my blending brush and I need my pink. My pink. There it is. I'm going to use my Innocent Pink by Gina K. And I'm just going to real quick just give some of that color right onto this. I know it's going to go on to the die cut depending upon where I'm going, and I'm okay with that. But to just give it this color, I think will be really, yeah, just to have that image going through there. I really like that. Now I have to wash that again. So just adding that stencil, it just gave that illusion for it. So as always, I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm really, look, they're all my favorite. I enjoy making all types of junk journals. I've learned so much through the YouTube and those that I watch and that inspire me all the time. when it comes to these creations, but I have to admit I am very much enjoying using a scrapbook collection. So I know that there will be more in the future for me. I see so many collections out there that I just fall in love with, and plus it helps with my addiction to paper. So because I have an addiction to paper, it's what I do, and I'm going to probably start a group regarding that. Anywho, so I hope I gave you some tips. I hope I gave you some tricks with what you have in your stash, or maybe you have your own paper collection that you're interested in doing this with. If you have any questions, and I'll link below if this is still available. I know bits and pieces are, but I'll link to places that do still have this, excuse me, the Vintage Garden District collection. That's what this is called, by Simple Stories. They do beautiful, beautiful collections. If you should have any questions, make sure you leave those down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, be part of my group here, and also ring the bell so that you know when the next video is ready for you to watch. Continue to enjoy your day, and always enjoy your day. Make sure we smile, make sure we enjoy this process. But remember what's most important to me. We do it every single day, and sometimes we don't realize it. Always be creative. Till next time, guys. Take care.